welcome back to the Real Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Today I'm riding solo, so I hope you don't mind, but I'm excited to be here with you. But today I want to talk about a case that's been really headlining and that's been huge amongst everybody in the United States that you've been seeing on the news, and it's been going on a lot for the past month. And there's just been so many clues and so many different pieces of evidence coming out each and every day. And it's still a case that hasn't been solved completely yet. So it's just so interesting, and I want to talk about it. But for anybody who doesn't know what the case is, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Gabby Petito case. And if you don't know what it is, I'm going to go into a really quick, brief little rundown of what it is and what exactly led to where we're at today. So just follow with me, and then we'll talk about some opinions and some theories I have on the whole entire case. Okay, so 22-year-old Gabby Petito and 37-year-old Brian Laundrie left home and quit their jobs in hopes of pursuing an online presence. They got a little van and turned it into a mobile home so that they could travel around the United States in hopes of really building their brand by visiting different national parks and nature reserves. And at this time, they've been on the road for about 2 or 3 months. The cops end up getting called from somebody who allegedly witnessed Brian beating Gabby. The cops pull over the van and they talk to each of them individually. Brian's just trying to be cool with the cops and play off the entire situation, while Gabby was really distraught and very emotional. When the cops asked Gabby what happened, she kind of explained how they've been fighting all morning and that she was the aggressor and took full responsibility for what we know to be his actions. So this is where things kind of get a little interesting. So the cops kind of separate them for the night in hopes that everything would be blown over by the morning. There were reports that they were together in the morning, but later that evening, I believe, is when Gabby actually went missing. A missing persons report was filed on Gabby that evening by her family. And this is where the story really blew the internet. So let's talk about the things we do know. We know that they've been together nonstop for months. Both appeared happy online, but were in reality very stressed out. We knew Brian was telling Gabby that the whole thing that they were doing was a waste of time and it wasn't going to go anywhere. And that really made Gabby upset. After they got into the heated argument, somebody witnesses Brian beating Gabby, which leads to Gabby going missing. Brian ends up using Gabby's credit card after she goes missing. And at this point, all eyes are on Brian. And unfortunately, it's super sad. They end up finding Gabby's body, which is super devastating. So I give my condolences to her family or anybody who knew her. It's such a sad thing. Following the news of Gabby's death, the cops label it a homicide, and then Brian is reported missing. And this is where things get even more interesting. And the other really crazy thing is we find out that Brian went back home after Gabby was labeled missing, which I find super weird, and that just doesn't seem right. So September 14th is when Brian is labeled missing. And to this day, a few witnesses have said that they've actually interacted. Recently, I saw a guy yesterday that was on Fox News where he actually said that he had a conversation with Brian Laundrie and was basically saying that he interacted with the guy, didn't really think anything of it, and he was thinking after their interaction was over, what if that was Brian Laundrie? And he ends up looking at some images on Google of what he looks like. And he said that that guy fit the exact description. And he said that basically he was trying to get home so he could see his girlfriend. So this is, it's very weird. I find it super weird. And Brian Laundrie's family really isn't being open about it, which to some degree I understand. You obviously as a parent always want to take your child's side and you always want to stick up for them even when it's not right. And I understand that. But just the way they're acting in the whole situation, I feel like it's their civil duty to come out and say something, because it's not right. That young girl did not deserve to die. And the young girl's family and her friends and everybody around her doesn't deserve to have zero questions answered as well. So let's talk about a couple possible outcomes, right? All things really do make it seem like Brian Laundrie is responsible for the murder of Gabby Petito. That's what I want to say at my heart. But I'm an interesting guy. I like to dive into different conspiracies and different theories on what happened. And I know this is a very serious topic, but you got to understand, although all eyes are looking at him and everybody is very suspicious of him and is almost sure it was him, but you got to remember it's innocent until proven guilty, and he hasn't been proven guilty yet. He's guilty for other things, which is why they got a warrant to find him. And the reason why they really got the warrant in the first place is so that they could question him about Gabby's death. But it could, in reality, be a coincidence that they were getting in a heated fight. The cops got involved. And somebody, I mean, they did have a presence. They had a pretty decent presence. Somebody could have actually killed her and staged it to make it look like him, and then could have killed him and hid his body somewhere. It's a possibility. I'm not saying that's what I truly believe, but it's a possibility. I've seen crazy cases where it looks like one thing and it's the completely opposite thing. And it's honestly such a disturbing story, knowing that that guy could still be on the loose, or he could be dead. And another really great thing is Dog the bounty hunter, I'm pretty sure he was retired, actually kind of came back into retirement because so many people were asking him to take this case on and to find Brian. So he took on this case, and he's been getting some leads and a bunch of different phone calls, and they're hoping they could find Brian Laundrie. They've pinpointed a couple locations where they think Brian Laundrie will be. And they're not getting fooled by anything, any misleading information. They're not getting fooled by nothing, and they're really trying to stick to what they think and what they know and what witnesses are saying. Because you got to think, too, some witness could be on Brian's side and could be like, oh, yeah, he's over there, so that he could do a lap around them and get away, basically. And that's what he's been doing for the past 2 weeks, it seems. So it's very suspicious, and it's very... it's just not a right situation, and it sucks because we all want to know what exactly happened to her, and we want to know if it was him that actually killed her, because it's just such a crazy thing. And the saddest part about it and the craziest part about it is when you look back at their Instagram pages and their videos and you see how happy their online presence seems, and then in reality it turns into this situation. And that is why I always tell people, like, people ask me, why did I delete Instagram, why did I delete social media, is because everybody posts their highlight reel on Instagram. Everybody posts their highlight reel on all social media platforms. They post the best little things that happen and make their life seem like it's some great thing, but in reality 98% of it is completely boring and just untrue and just not realistic at all. And I don't want to just post the good times on Instagram, because that would be lying to about the 98% of my life, which isn't happy or isn't just great memories and just great times. You know, there's a lot of other things that happen. I'm not saying only 2% of the time I'm happy. That's not what I'm trying to say. But only 2% of that highlight reel is actually who I am. And that's not who I want to perceive myself as. I don't want to perceive myself as just living a fake life and just always being happy and all this. I don't know. I just think social media is just honestly a bad thing. And see, if, you know, the thing that makes people not question this as much is because, oh, they looked so happy. They look so happy because it was a highlight reel is what it was. Their Instagram and YouTube was a highlight reel. It was all a facade. It was a persona that they were actually happy, and that all of what they were doing, they loved each other, that they were in love and all these things. And you find out that that was fake later. And that's the whole idea of a highlight reel. I know I keep saying it, but it's the truth. That was their highlight reel, and their highlight reel is what actually ended up potentially being a life or death, game-changing thing for them. So I guess if I were to give advice to anybody, don't be stressing about your highlight reel. Don't be worrying about what other people think of you, you know? Post the good times and the bad times. Let everybody know who you are, so that when they meet you or when they see you, they're not just like, wow, I thought you were a happy person. I thought you were this person. And then you're not, you know? Be yourself. Be true to yourself, and never be afraid to speak up. Like, if something like this was ever happening where you were in an abusive relationship or something, speak up about it. Don't be silent about that shit. That shit's not cool at any level or any degree. It's not cool, and you shouldn't be silent about it, because silence is what killed Gabby Petito. So don't be silent. That's my opinion on it. I hope you guys did enjoy. I know it was a little bit of a dark, intense little episode, but I will update. If we get some more big updates and big case-breaking situations, I will update it to you guys, and I'll make a part 2 of this series. But this is what we know as of right now, as what I know, and I just wanted to inform you a little bit about it, because I think it's so important that this message gets out there, because this could be something, this could be a case that, although there was a lot of bad in it, it could teach people that, you know, maybe not posting every good part of your life when you're going through something is a good thing, because people don't look at you and they don't question your happiness or how you feel or every little aspect of your life. So just don't be silent in those situations. Really speak up, because, like I said, that's the difference between life or death. The difference between you being happy and you being depressed and things like that. Get the help you need, and always talk to somebody, because bottling up those emotions will never help you. They're only going to hurt you. So I just wanted to say that. But thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate and love you all. I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Peace out.